Alright, so in this clip we are going to create some light setup to do the rendering. So right here I'm not having any light setup. So let's first get started with let's say we have the direction light that can mimic the impact of a sunlight. So let's go inside the Arnold, and over here we have lights. Let's create a simple light that is a bi-directional light. Alright, adjust it and rotate this, no problem, and just reposition this anywhere you want, because this light is just the angle based, it is independent of its position. So if we hit the option 7, so we can see we have the impact of the light, and you can also simply use this options to receive the shadow from your lights. And in this case I'm going to use the ray trace shadows. So you press Ctrl A, you are inside the attribute editor for this light. And let's do one thing without any further tweak. Let's go inside the render setting and see what we have. So go over here and hit the option render. Just ignore this frame, this was the previous render. Alright, now I'm going for a new and fresh render. So right now we are at frame first. Alright, so let's go and have a render. Alright, so here is a render, pretty much dark we can see, but not a problem. So let's do one thing. Let's first enhance the overall render what we have. Let me try to increase the impact of the light. So what I can do, I can simply go inside the Arnold attributes and I can simply increase the exposure value. So let's use a value of maybe 3, and let's also change the color using the color temperature. So we can go with value of maybe, let's say 4500 or maybe 5000. All right, and now if we re-render this, let's see what we have. Let me just save the frame for our comparison. And the overall time it took, it's hardly fraction, even less than a second. Let's render this again. All right, so here we have, if we just compare these two scene, we can see there is a lot of change inside the light. We have some more bright informations. All right, so now let's do one thing. This light we have is basically the direct light. So if you notice carefully, if I just take you back the opposite side of this character, and if I just do the render, notice what we have. So there is no much information in the back side. However, we do have some nice indirect lighting over here. We have some diffuse information, but we are simply lacking the indirect light. So if we are considering a scene under the natural environment, let's say the presence of the sun and skylight, we are definitely required to have a skylight setup. So what we can do in this case, we can simply call the AI skylight. So need to go inside the Arnold menu. Over here under the lights we have the sky dome light. All right, hit the option. So now we have some nice indirect information of the light, but the impact of this light is a way too much high. All right, so let's go inside the attribute editor and let's reduce the intensity to maybe around 0.25, let's say. And we can also change the color going through this as well. So, or the best way, you just let it be the same. We can simply go inside the use color temperature and change the value to maybe around, let's say 10,500. All right, let's say 10,000 only. All right, that's fine. Now let's we have already reduced the intensity, not a problem, and you can see some kind of a jitters over here inside the, you can say, the swatch. So let's increase the overall samples. We are going to increase the samples to maybe 4. All right, and here we get rid of all those noisy or kind of a jittering. So now let's take a look inside the render what we have. So hit the render. All right, so now we have some nice indirect informations. All right, so let's do one thing, guys. Let's increase the time slider to a value of let's say at 50 frame. Okay, so now we are actually at 50 frame, or let's say I'm taking it back to 25 frames. That's nice. All right, because I just want the appearance of this creature also. So we are at frame 25. All right, now if I go inside the render view and I hit the option render, what would appear? Obviously you must be thinking that if we have dragged the time slider to a value of 25th frame, we must be having the frame information of 25 over here. And that's exactly how we have to go. But see whether we could able to fetch the information at frame 25th or not, because that's a problem or a kind of a bug in the Arnold. Let's take a look. And here we go. Now you notice what we have. We are still at frame 25. All right, just focus over here. Where is my mouse pointer? Just focus over here. We are at frame 25th, but the result is of frame 1. So what exactly is the problem? The problem is that, guys, the Arnold is not able to read the cache of our particles. The moment if I just disable the cache, it can accept your render, but that's not the way we want things, because we have already learned the process of going through with the cache. So what exactly is the problem? What exactly is stopping the Arnold not to render the information just beyond the frame 1? There are some possible bugs which I really don't know, but the good thing is that, guys, I have got the solution. The solution is pretty much neat and pretty much clear. We are required to change the evaluation mode from the parallel to the DG. What exactly I'm talking about? Let's do one thing. Let me take you inside the options where exactly is the evaluation method. So let's go inside the Windows. Over here we have the setting preferences. Go inside the preferences. Over here we have the animation. And you can see we have evaluation. So right now the evaluation mode is set to the parallel. We are required to change that mode from parallel to the DG. All right. So hit the option save. Now you are at frame 25th. Let me just go for one more frame. Let's say 26th frame. And now if I just take you inside the render view, hit the option render. And here we go. Thank God we have got the solutions. All right. So we don't need to worry. We are good to go with the Arnold rendering. The important thing that I was talking about, guys, that once you start doing the rendering, you are simply required to go inside the window, setting preferences. I'm repeating again, inside the animations. Don't forget to use the option, the evaluation mode, to the DG instead of parallel. All right. Hit the option save. And now you are simply good to go for the rendering. All right. So that's all about this clip. I wanted to pay attention to this particular attribute, that is the evaluation mode, which is now we have set to the DG. Now in the next clip, I'll be covering the aspects of the render settings and we'll talk about the render sequences. All right. So see you there.